Let me ask you a question most men never consider. What do your feet have to do with your testosterone levels? Strange question, isn't it? After nearly 4 decades of sitting across from thousands of male patients' fathers, grandfathers, even former soldiers, I've noticed something many doctors overlook. A quiet but powerful link between circulation in the feet and a man's hormonal balance, especially after age 60. See, most men over 60 chalk up their fatigue, low libido, and poor sleep to just getting older. But the truth? Aging isn't the enemy, it's poor blood flow. When your feet are cold at night, it's not just uncomfortable, it's a red flag. Cold extremities signal your nervous system to shift into survival mode, pulling blood away from your organs, slowing metabolism, and most critically reducing the signal your brain sends to produce testosterone. That's right, something as simple as cold feet could be quietly draining your manhood. But here's the twist. Warming your feet before bed could help flip that switch, reignite circulation, signal safety to your nervous system, and when that happens, hormones begin to recover naturally. Stick with me. I'll walk you through the science, the risks of ignoring it, and the simple habit that could revive your energy, confidence, and yes, your bedroom life. Let's get into it. Let me tell you something strange, my friend. Over my 39 years in medicine, I've seen all sorts of things, but one of the most unexpected pieces of advice I've ever given, a patient advice that made their eyes widen in disbelief, was this: warm your feet before bed. And no, I'm not joking. I've said this to truck drivers in Kansas, retired firefighters in New Jersey, ex-Marines in Texas, men who'd laugh it off at first until I explained why it mattered. Then, suddenly, they'd lean in. You see, most men think of testosterone like a factory machine. Either it's working or it's not. But the truth is, testosterone isn't just a hormone, it's a conversation happening inside your body. A quiet back and forth between your brain and your blood vessels, your nerves, your metabolism, and yes, even your toes. Think about it. Have you ever gone to bed with cold feet, tossed and turned, couldn't get comfortable, woke up groggy, unmotivated, and maybe just off? That's not just bad luck. That's your body signaling, hey, I'm under stress, I'm not safe. Here's the kicker. When your body thinks it's in danger, it shuts down non-essential functions, reproduction, muscle growth, deep, restorative sleep. All the things that testosterone helps with. Your brain starts to pull back on the hormone controls, not because it's broken, but because it's protecting you. That's what cold feet can do. Now, let me share something I saw just last winter. I had a 67-year-old patient, a retired mechanic named Joe. He came into my office complaining of low energy, poor sleep, and a total lack of drive physically and mentally. He wasn't interested in medication, he just wanted to feel like himself again. So I asked him something unexpected. Joe, do you sleep with socks on? He blinked. What? I explained. Blood flow to the feet is one of the clearest signs of circulatory health, and circulatory health is the highway for your hormones. If your feet are cold at night, your core body temperature can drop just enough to throw off sleep cycles, hormone release, and nervous system recovery. I suggested he try something simple. Every night before bed, soak his feet in warm water for 10 minutes, dry them off, then put on a soft pair of wool socks. That's it. No pills, no devices, no gimmicks. 2 weeks later, Joe came back in. His words? Doc, I've been sleeping like a bear, and my wife says I'm acting 10 years younger. Now, I'm not saying socks are magic, but I am saying this. Small signs like cold feet are the body's way of whispering a warning. And small changes, especially ones that improve circulation and signal safety, can help restore the body's natural rhythms. Especially after 60, when your body doesn't bounce back the way it used to, we have to start working with it, not against it. So let me ask you, do you wake up tired, even after 8 hours of sleep? Have you lost your edge physically, mentally, or emotionally? Do you feel colder at night, even when the room's warm? If so, it might not be age. It might just be that your body is trying to protect itself from the cold, literally. And if that's true, warming your feet at night could be the most surprisingly powerful habit you ever try. Because when blood flows, hormones flow. When the body feels safe, it starts to heal. And when healing begins, so does your comeback. Stick around. In the next part, we'll dig into exactly why this happens after 60 and what else you can do tonight to flip the switch back on. Let's take a step back for a moment. You might be wondering, why does this even happen? Why do our bodies, especially after 60, start reacting so strongly to things like cold feet, poor sleep, or stress? Well, here's the truth I've learned. After nearly 4 decades of practicing medicine, after 60, your body doesn't stop working, it just stops compensating. When you were younger, you could skip sleep, eat poorly, forget to hydrate, and your body would still bounce back. It had reserves hormonal buffers, metabolic momentum, and youthful energy to cover your mistakes. But after 60, the buffer's gone. The body starts demanding precision. Subtle imbalances, things you once ignored now have real consequences. And one of the most underrated changes, your circulatory intelligence starts to shift. Let me explain. Your body is like a thermostat, constantly adjusting blood flow to regulate your temperature and hormones. But as you age, the blood vessels, especially the tiny ones in your hands, feet, and sexual organs, become less responsive. They don't dilate as easily. Blood doesn't circulate as smoothly. Why? Part of it is wear and tear. Years of mild inflammation, sugar spikes, dehydration. Maybe a little too much sitting, all of it adds up. But part of it is also hormonal. After 60, testosterone production slows. Not just in the testes, but in the brain's ability to signal the system. The hypothalamus and pituitary become less responsive. And guess what supports their function? Oxygen, blood flow, thermal regulation. It's all connected. So when your feet are cold, especially at night, your body interprets it as a threat. Not consciously, of course. But deep in the brainstem, your nervous system says, "We might be in danger. Let's conserve energy." And that means shutting down non-essential functions like hormone production. Now, here's the really interesting part. This isn't just about testosterone. It affects your sleep, your digestion, your immune response, even your brain clarity. I once had a patient named Harold, 74 years old, still working part-time at a car dealership. He came in complaining of brain fog. He thought it was early dementia. After some tests, we ruled out anything serious, but his blood circulation was poor. Cold hands, cold feet, restless sleep. I asked if he ever had trouble getting warm. He said, "Always, especially my feet, drives my wife nuts." So I told him the same thing I told Joe: start warming your feet every night. But I also added one thing: hydrate deeply before dinner, cut caffeine after 2 p.m., and walk outside for 15 minutes after sunset. Why? Because after 60, your circadian rhythm, your body's internal clock, starts slipping, and the fastest way to reset it is to reconnect your body to natural cues: warmth, movement, hydration, and light. 2 months later, Harold was sharper, more rested, happier. He told me he was selling more cars, remembering people's names again, and for the first time in a long time, he felt like himself. That's not a miracle. That's biology being supported the right way. So here's what I want to leave you with in this part. If you're over 60 and you've been feeling off less drive, less sleep, more acesits, not because you're broken. It's because your body has entered a new phase, one that demands a different kind of attention. You're no longer coasting on youth, you're managing systems. And a system only works when all the signals line up: blood flow, temperature, rest, movement, and mindset. And yes, something as small as warming your feet at night? That can be a signal, a way of saying to your body, you're safe, you can recover now. So ask yourself, have you noticed changes in how your body warms up or cools down? Do you fall asleep easily, but wake up groggy or stiff? Have you stopped feeling like yourself lately? These aren't signs of failure, they're signs of transition. And transitions can be beautiful if you know how to meet them. In the next part, we're going to talk about what happens when you ignore these signs and how they can slowly steal more than just comfort. They can steal your sense of identity, your relationships, and your quality of life. But don't worry, we'll also talk about how to stop that slide and take your power back. Stay with me. let's talk about what happens when you ignore it. Because here's the truth, not all problems come crashing into your life. Some just creep in quietly. They arrive like fog, gradually, softly, until one day you look up and realize something has changed. You've changed. Now, if you're a man over 60, you probably know this feeling well. You start waking up more tired than rested. Your muscles feel tighter. Your mind, not as sharp. You might start forgetting where you left your keys, or worse, the name of someone you've known for years. And here's the part that stings the most. You start feeling invisible, not just to others, but to yourself. I've seen this story unfold again and again in my practice. The slow fading of vitality, and the tragedy isn't the age, it's the resignation, the belief that this is just how it is now. But what if it's not? What if your body isn't failing? What if it's just misunderstood? Let me tell you about Tom. He was 69 when he came to see me. Used to be a high school football coach. Tough guy. Still walked like he was pacing the sidelines. But something was off. He said, "Doc, I don't feel like me anymore. I'm tired, unmotivated. I've lost my edge." Now, his blood work wasn't alarming. Nothing clinically wrong. But I noticed something small. His circulation was poor. His feet were always cold. He dismissed it, saying, "My wife's got 3 blankets on me every night." But that was the clue. You see, when your circulation weakens, it's like the engine isn't delivering enough fuel. Your brain, your heart, your muscles, they all get less oxygen, less nutrition. Over time, that lack of flow becomes a lack of life. You lose strength, your reflexes dull, your mood drops, and yes, your hormones take a hit, especially testosterone. That affects everything from your energy and memory, to your ability to build muscle, to your confidence in intimacy. And trust me, when a man starts losing confidence in the bedroom, it doesn't just hurt his pride, it chips away at his identity. And here's the quiet danger. When you stop feeling like yourself, you stop showing up for life. You withdraw. You say no more than yes. You shrink your world. Fewer conversations, less laughter, more isolation. This isn't about vanity, it's about your ability to stay connected with your wife, your kids, your friends, even with yourself. And it all starts with circulation. So what happens if you ignore cold feet? If you dismiss the poor sleep, the low drive, the slow mornings? It doesn't just stay the same, it gets worse. Your nervous system stays in fight or flight. Your body gets stuck in stress. And the longer you stay in that zone, the harder it is to recover. You may not notice it at first. Maybe you gain a few pounds. Maybe your balance feels off. Maybe you stop reaching for your partner's hand at night because part of you feels disconnected. And slowly, that becomes your new normal. But here's the thing I want every man to hear. This spiral is not inevitable. You can interrupt it. You can reverse it. You can choose a different path. It starts by paying attention, by listening to the quiet signals your body sends, especially at night, when it's supposed to heal. So let me ask you, have you been feeling a little more out of it lately? Is your sleep shallow, restless? Have you started avoiding the things that once made you feel alive? If you answered yes to any of those, don't panic. You're not broken, but your body is asking for help, and it's time to respond. Because when you ignore circulation problems, when you let the stress pile up without releasing it, when you brush off the low energy as just age, you're missing the opportunity to reclaim your power. So here's my invitation to you. Stay curious, stay engaged, and above all, don't let something as small as cold feet become the first domino in a chain that takes you further from the man you've always been. In the next part, we'll talk about how to turn this around. Not with pills, not with overcomplicated protocols, but with simple, proven steps you can take starting tonight to warm your body, restore your sleep, and bring your strength back online. You're not done. You're just getting rewired. Stick with me. Alright, now that we understand what's really happening, let's talk about how to fix it. Because here's the good news. Your body hasn't given up on you. It's just been waiting for the right signal. And sometimes, that signal is as simple as warmth. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You just need to start treating your body the way you would treat an old friend, someone who's been loyal, who's carried you through decades of work, stress, joy, and challenge. Someone who now needs just a little more care. So what can you do? Let me break it down. Step 1. Warm your feet every night, no exceptions. This one's non-negotiable, whether it's a 10-minute warm water soak, an electric heating pad, or a pair of thermal socks give your feet warmth before bed. Why? Because warming your feet helps dilate your blood vessels, allowing for better circulation throughout the entire body. That warmth tells your nervous system, we're safe, you can let go, you can restore. You'll find yourself falling asleep faster, sleeping deeper, waking up more clear-headed. I've had patients tell me they hadn't remembered their dreams in years until they started sleeping with warm feet. Step 2. Walk barefoot, but only during the day. Here's something interesting I've noticed. Many men over 60 get stiff, not because they're old, but because they've lost the sensory connection between their feet and the ground. During the day, especially morning-stree, walking barefoot on a safe surface like grass, sand, or a soft rug, this stimulates thousands of nerve endings, supports balance, and reawakens circulation pathways. It's grounding, both physically and emotionally. But at night, cover those feet. Cold feet at night equals poor sleep equals lower testosterone, period. Step 3. Breathe low and slow before bed. This one might sound odd, but it's powerful. Right before sleep, sit on the edge of your bed. Place one hand on your belly. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6. Do this for 2-3 minutes. This simple breathing pattern signals your parasympathetic nervous system your body's rest and repair mudito activate. That means better sleep, more hormone production, and reduced inflammation. And again, better sleep equals better you. Step 4. The hormone soup night routine. Think of your hormones like ingredients in a healing soup. You want to give your body the right recipe each night. Here's a simple routine I often recommend. Eat dinner at least 3 hours before bed. This gives your body time to digest. Drink a warm, magnesium-rich drink, something like herbal tea, with a pinch of Himalayan salt and lemon. Turn off bright screens 45 minutes before sleeping. Read, listen to soft music, or stretch instead. Keep your room cool, but your body warm, especially your feet. These steps might sound small, but trust me, when done consistently, they reset your hormonal rhythm. Step 5. Move every day, gently. I'm not asking you to join a CrossFit gym or train for a triathlon. I'm talking about simple, consistent movement. A 20-minute walk after dinner, a few bodyweight squats in the morning, gentle stretching during commercials. Movement is medicine. It pumps blood, it stimulates the lymphatic system, it raises natural testosterone levels, and perhaps most importantly, it reminds your body that you're alive, that you're still here, still fighting, still worthy of strength. Let me tell you a quick story. A patient of mine, Mark, age 72, started this exact routine, warming his feet, adjusting his nighttime habits, walking daily, breathing before bed. After a month, he looked at me and said, "I feel like my body trusts me again." That hit me. My body trusts me again. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to show up, gently, regularly, and with care. So if you're wondering where to start small. Start tonight. Run warm water over your feet. Dry them slowly. Put on your softest pair of socks. Turn off the television. Breathe deep. Feel your body soften. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. And wisdom, my friend, is the strength we earn with age. In the final part, I'll give you a reminder you won't want to forget, and that ties everything together and shows you why it's never too late to return to the man you were always meant to be. Stay with me. So, what's the takeaway here? If you've been with me through this journey from cold feet to hormone health, you've probably realized something by now. This isn't really just about your feet. It's about your connection to your body, your sense of power, your confidence, your sleep, your strength, your sense of self. Because when those things start to fade, you don't lose them all at once. You lose them quietly, silently, one night at a time. But here's what I want to remind you clearly, plainly, as someone who's walked alongside thousands of men through their health journeys. You are not broken, you are not too old, and you have not missed your chance. You're simply in a phase of life where the body stops yelling and starts whispering. And that whisper might sound like cold feet, or poor sleep, or low drive, or forgetting what you were going to say. But those whispers, they're not warnings of defeat, they're invitations. Invitations to care, to listen, to start again. So what do I want you to remember? Let's distill it down. 1. Blood flow is life. If your feet are cold, your brain and organs aren't getting what they need. Circulation fuels hormones, sleep, memory, and mood. 2. Hormones follow safety. When your nervous system feels safe, calm, rested, your body restarts natural production, especially testosterone. 3. Small signals matter. You don't need a diagnosis to start healing, you need awareness. You need to respond early. 4. The solution is simple. Warm your feet before bed. Walk a little every day. Breathe deeper. Sleep darker. Hydrate well. It's not magic. It's medicine, natural, practical, proven. 5. Identity is recoverable. You are still that man. Underneath the fatigue, beneath the years, you haven't disappeared. You've just been paused. And know it's time to press play again. Look, aging isn't easy. I won't pretend it is, but it's also not a decline, it's a transition. One that, if embraced, can unlock a whole new kind of vitality, a quieter strength, a wiser energy, a deeper presence. You may not run like you did at 30, but you can still lead like you're 30, still love, still laugh, still be the man your family looks up to, your friends rely on, and your younger self would be proud of. And if all of that starts with something as simple as warming your feet, then warm them, my friend. Because sometimes the smallest actions have the biggest echoes. So here's my final question to you. What's one thing, just one small thing you can do tonight to send your body the message that it's safe and strong and ready to recover? Start there and let that action ripple through the rest of your life. Because the comeback, it's not a fantasy, it's a choice. And you, sir, you still have time. Let's walk forward, together. Dr. Benjamin Cross. 39 years in the field, still learning, still believing, still walking beside you. So, let's take a breath. Let's remember what we've just explored together. The truth that cold feet at night are more than discomfort, they're a signal. A signal that your body is asking to feel safe again, to rest, to rebuild. And when you respond simply, gently, wisely, you begin to unlock something incredible: better blood flow, a calm, clear nervous system, natural hormone balance, deep sleep, and the quiet return of your energy, your confidence, your strength. Because you are not broken. You're not fading. Your body just needs the right support, at the right time. And that time is now. So tonight, take one small step. Warm your feet. Breathe slower. Drink water. Move gently. Sleep fully. These aren't just habits. They're signals of respect for the body that's carried you this far. And if you found value in this message, if it sparked something in you, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel, Sit Here with Teenager. Because this is where we keep having real conversations. Honest, grounded, backed by experience, made for men who want to live the second half of life with dignity, strength, and clarity. So hit that subscribe button. Share this with someone who needs it, and drop a comment below. What part of your health are you ready to take back? You deserve to feel strong again. Not someday starting tonight. I'm Dr. Benjamin Cross, and I'll be right here every step of the way.